guys, so this video is an in-depth tutorial for the Int-Agi High Wizard. Okay, so before we begin, if you haven't seen part 1, I will place it in the description below. If you are just new to the game and planning to make a wizard, I recommend that you check part 1 first, but I will just repeat what I said before about the stats for the early game progression. If you are just new to the game and you're planning to make a wizard, I still recommend that you go pure int. So the purpose of this is so that you can farm faster. So don't invest in any other stats besides int. And then eventually, if you can't hit an enemy, so inside Pyramid Duel, there is the reward item, Crown Jewel Helm. This will give you a lot of hit, so I think you'll encounter that when you go against the Vagabond or the Mummy. They have a slightly higher fleet than before. Then besides that, yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so first is the stats. So like we mentioned, this is for the Int-Agi build. So to answer some of the questions, why Int-Agi? Bakit Int-Agi build ang gagawin natin? So first, in PvE, player versus enemy, you'll be able to tank the damage. So you can apply the DOT method that we have right now, so you'll be able to tank the damage of the boss. You can also sustain, so during farming, if you're going to farm in the higher level maps, you'll be able to sustain and be able to finish the killing quests faster. And then this is just my personal opinion, but in PvP, tingin ko mas okay siya dahil maliban dun sa dodge, the attack animation is faster. Because if you noticed in PvP for wizards, sometimes before we cast the skill, the character always do one normal attack first. Sometimes, but there are times that the character suddenly just throws out a skill. But most of the time for me, I've noticed that before casting a skill, the wizard first will fire one basic attack. And before, when I'm still pure int for my stats, the animation was very slow. But right now, I noticed that with my attack speed, so after one basic attack, which now has a faster animation, I'm able to throw out the skill immediately. So I think that's a very big factor just because of the attack animation. Okay, now I'm not saying that int vit, so I'm pretty sure some guys are doing this, is bad. I think in PvP probably int vit will probably be better, but I think it might be more difficult for them to do the boss, to finish the boss in Labyrinth Island or the bosses in the map, just because of a slow DPS. But I don't think they will die, but just the DPS will be the problem. Even if they use a DOT weapon, since the DOT weapon is dependent or proportional to your attack speed, so the faster you hit, the more chances it will proc, right? Now, when should we allocate Agi? So I've said earlier that when you progress in the game, to go pure int, so kailan ba natin lalagyan ng Agi? Para sa akin guys, mas magandang lagyan siya ng Agi kapag umabot na kayo siguro dun sa dalawang latest map, yung si Kokomo Beach and Karu the West Cave. So because in these two maps, this is where I encountered that getting hit hurts a lot compared to the previous maps. Okay, so how should we allocate the stats? So what I did was pour everything to agility, and then all the leftovers will be poured back to intelligence. So I recommend doing this once you have a good weapon, or at least a trans 3 weapon. I did this when I had a trans 3 aqua staff. So my damage was affected but not that much. So kaya pa rin mag-farm at pumatay ng boss. Basta ang importante guys, pag nilipat nyo na sa agility, yung ibang stats nyo, dapat kaya nyo pa rin mag-farm sa mga mommy ng one shot. Huwag nyo kalimutan yun. Kasi pag bumagal yung farm nyo, di mahirapan tayo. Okay. So ito yung stats ko ngayon. Pure Agi, then the rest Int. So far I have trans, I think 5 times. I already have 264 stat point. I usually trans at base 84 just because it's plus 50. So I'm planning to trans after this. And then that's it. So that's basically for the stats. So that you'll be able to achieve the attack speed that we need. Okay, now for the main equipment. So as you can see, I'm using Felrock hat, Felrock armor, the Sinister staff, piece of agent skin, Blackwing brooch, and Ring of Chaos. So I've discussed this before, so let's just review it a bit. So Felrock hat, just because for the default stats to help in our attack speed, and of course the skill cooldown. Now before, if you watched part 1, I used Agent's Robe, so right now I changed it to Felrock for the same reason, for the attack speed and the default stats. Then the piece of agent skin, but I would like to mention the Excellion wing. It's a Mantu as well, but I will discuss that later. And then Blackwing brooch, and then the Ring of Chaos. Actually guys, for the ring, there's actually, I'm still debating which should I use, because I'm thinking of changing it to King's Protection Ring just for PvP, but I'm actually checking out the Water Ring, I think, for the magic attack, because it's difficult to trans the Chaos Ring, as you know, because this is very rare. Here, so Ring of Water, sorry. Okay, I'm trying to check if Ring of Water is better or the Ring of Fire. In short, there might be I might be making a video which is better, because magic attack percent versus fire damage increase, something like that. So I'm still checking it out, but I would like to mention the Expert Ring, so I will discuss that later as well. Okay, so this is basically my current main equipment. So let's just discuss briefly the weapon. So basically there are just 3 weapons that you should choose from: the Aqua Staff, Crimson Staff, and the Sinister. Okay, so for me, some did the Aqua Staff and then they went straight to Trans 7. I think that's the easiest and most straightforward way to get stronger, since all you need to do is to just craft it. Just keep farming the mats, then craft it. So yun yung pinakamabilis guys. Walang duda dun. So walang sinasabing mali yun, pero yun yung pinakamabilis na way, tsaka pinakamadaling way. Then sorry, yung susunod guys, Crimson Staff. I think may debate pa to syempre, Crimson versus Sinister. Pero for me, yung Crimson, mas madali pa rin siyang buuin syempre. Since pwede nyo siya makuha sa Int Gearbox, I mean yung Chronos, upgrade nyo. Then the basic strategy would be save 1000 ROP and then save 1 to 2 million Zenny. And then eventually someone will sell it in the market in Sikihor. Okay, that I can only speak for our server. Then it's easier to just keep buying it, right? Now for the most difficult is the Sinister. So but for me, if all three staffs are maximum, have reached the max strength, so I still think that the Sinister is better. But that would be for another video. Once I've gotten my Chronos from my alt. Yung alt yung nakakakuha ng mga Chronos, hindi ko lang bakit. But for me, what I did, I didn't continue to upgrade my Aqua Staff, so it's still at Trans 3. And I just waited. Pinagtyagaan ko na lang guys, yung kahit mabagal yung Sinister Staff buuin. And a little trivia, yung 1 Trans, and Trans 1 na Sinister, kasing lakas niya lang yung Trans 3 na Aqua Staff. Okay, kasi nung naka-Trans 1 ako ng Sinister, halos magsing dikit lang yung damage nila. Okay. Kahit may agwat sila ng mga 2,500 magic attack. Ayun. Ganun yung, so, mare-ratio nyo. So, kung i-ratio ko to, so yung Trans 2 ko ngayon, feel ko mga ano siya. Kasing laki ko yung damage ng Trans 5. Yun. So, hindi na ako nagmadaling buuin yung Crimson. So, hinayaan ko na lang. Kasi since nabot ko naman yung latest content so hinayaan ko na lang. Pero nire-recommend ko pa rin guys if you want to do the Crimson stuff. Okay. Mas doable siya sa Sinister. Kasi tulad ko, hindi ko maramdaman na malakas ako. Kasi nga, may hina pa yung weapon. Trans 2. Okay. Next guys, share ko lang yung farming equipment ko. Baka gusto niya lang din gayahin. So, ito sila. Wing Staff. Golden Horn, syempre. 8. 9. Okay, so this is my farming equipment. Oh, I died. There's the mummy. Okay, so this will just be quick. So this is my farming equipment, just because for the movement speed. So I have no buffs, so I'm at 221. It doesn't have to be the cold heart. My point is just if you can get lots of creamy cards and then a four slot necklace, so more movement speed. And then likewise, if you have a Mantu or a Felrock coat that has a movement speed plus the Infinite Eclipse cards for the movement speed, Wing Staff, you can make this to a 5-star, but I just don't try to make it to a 5-star because my BP might be too high, so I won't be hired, so it might be difficult to hire. So I just let it stay at 4-star. But you can max upgrade the Wing Staff. Then a max upgrade Golden Horn for the Zenny and the movement speed. And for the armor, it's just any armor that has movement speed, your choice. I just happen to got this fuse plate, so this is why I'm using it. But the point, and the sprint ring. But the point is, just for the movement speed, once you've achieved at least 200, and then you can one-hit the mummy or wherever you're farming. So that's good enough. Okay. Let's wear everything back. Okay, now let's go to the cards. Okay guys, so para mapadali lang, for the helm, my objective for the cards for the helm is just the skill cooldown. So it's either the Willow or GTB, that's it. But if you don't have them yet, you can use Elder Willow or a Mastering. Now for the armor, okay, this is all I have at the moment, but my cards is the Infinite Goblin for melee damage resist, and I'm trying right now the Bigfoot for the range damage resist. But ideally, I think it's either 2 Orc Hero or 2 Bigfoot. So you have a balance between melee and range damage resist. Or since we're actually range type, we can just focus on one type. I mean, like 3 Orc Heroes, and then maybe 1 Savage, or vice versa. 3 Bigfoot, and then 1 Savage. It's up to you guys. You can mix it up. Now for the Mantu, for me it's either just Salamander or the Dragonfly card. So obviously Salamander for the fire damage, Fire Pillar, Meteor Storm. And then for the Dragonfly, I just focus on the attack speed, but we will discuss it further later. Then for the necklace, right now I'm still using the Infinite Int-Agi card for the fire damage, but I recommend if you have a good quality mastery, use it. Or if you are short in attack speed, which we will also discuss later, I recommend the Yo-Yo. Then for the weapon, it's the Lunatic. You can also use the Felrock card, the magic one. This one. Mine's not that good, so I'm still trying to reconstruct. But you can also the Draeneiar. So this is also very important so that you can sustain. Then last but not the least, the ring. So this I recommend the Chonchon and the Galapago card for attack speed and skill cooldown. Okay. So next we will now discuss, guys, about the attack speed. First, my current attack speed is at 561. So let's go somewhere. Menus. Okay guys, so dito importante guys ang sa attack speed ng wizard para ma-reach to, kasi so far alam ko walang staff na may attack speed ata. Kaya compare sa ibang class, kung staff ang gagamitin, medyo mahirap. Alam ko wala. Wala. Ayan. So, sa weapon pa lang lugi na tayo. Diba kaya iba yung animation sa wizard? Anyway, so paano ko ba na-reach tong 561 nang wala pang buff? So, syempre yung Chonchon card. Dito guys, pangit pa yung mga quality ng cards ko. See, may Agi ng butaw. Pero ito yung Agi, pangit pa rin attack speed. Okay. So, ang nirecommend ko guys, mag-invest kayo sa cards. Kung kailangan reconstruct. Kung kailangan mag-restore. So, as much as possible, at least good quality yung attack speed and Agi. Kahit butaw na yung magic attack. Para ma-reach natin yung attack speed. Ganun din sa Mantu. So, si Dragonfly. Attack speed lang tingnan nyo. Okay, kung titingnan lagi silang dark blue. Yung dalawa, bahala na. Then, syempre, ang tutulong doon is yung Agi. So, para makita natin guys yung difference, itatype ko na lang yung mga attack speed natin. Tapos, pakinggan nyo na lang yung sounds. Kasi sa wizard, rinig na rinig yung difference. Versus pag tinignan natin. Kasi nga, nagpa-fire pillar. Okay guys, so, hindi muna magsasalita. Just listen to the sound. I will just add text afterward. So we will first start with the my lowest possible attack speed without buff, and then I will eventually equip everything again, and then afterwards I will also use buffs to further increase the attack speed to see if there is a difference or something. Okay, let's go. Okay guys, so I hope the demo for the attack speed was okay. But unfortunately I can't reach 750 yet. I'm not sure if there will be a difference. But actually at 550 and above, the attack speed animation is actually okay already. Because we're doing the attack speed just because, so that we can continuously proc the fire pillar. But we all know that the fire pillar has a cooldown of 0.7 seconds. So now we will now talk about the skill cooldown and how to achieve, because my personal goal is to achieve at least a fire pillar cooldown of 0.5 or less than 0.5, so that we can have a chance to proc the fire pillar at least twice per second. Okay, since I'm sure we're attacking more than once per second. Check out our earlier video about it. So I'm sure if we get to reduce the cooldown of the fire pillar to less than 0.5, then more or less in 1 second we have a chance to proc the fire pillar twice. Okay, so let's discuss the equipments for the skill cooldown. Right now, so I'll be probably placing a text or table at the side. So right now my skill cooldown is at, where is it? Okay, 16.7, very low. So this is made out of the Fell Rock Hat 7.5, the Galapago, which is 2.1, and the cards 2.8 and 2.3. Okay, I think that's it. Not sure if there's any more. Okay, but so ideally, if I can get the cards that I want and the possible equipment that I want, okay, this is my initial calculation. So right now, Willow card at level 50 has a maximum of +4 skill cooldown reduction. So even if my card quality is not that good, but not like this one, I'm assuming if I have a better card quality at around 45%, I'm assuming that at level 80 for the Willow card, we can probably get 4 skill cooldown, even though if it's not the maximum at level 80. Okay, this is just my assumption. Now, having said that, we can have 4 Willow cards. So this would mean 16 skill cooldown reduction if we have 4 level 80 Willow cards. You guys, you can also use GTB if you have GTB. I don't have the data yet for the GTB. Then for the ring, if I have a better Galapago. Also, if I can improve either one of the Chonchon cards, I'm thinking that I can still maintain the attack speed at above 550 with only 2 Chonchon cards. Or if I can also improve the Dragonfly cards, so I might be able to add another Galapago here. But as of now, since I only have 1, so my assumption is only 2.1. So with that, ideally, if I can get at least either the Expert Ring or the... Okay, this is the Expert Ring, or the Mantiu that I said a while ago, the Excellion Wing, because they have the skill cooldown, both of them 10 and 7.5. If I can get either one of them, I think we can reach a total cooldown reduction of approximately 43. Okay, I will just lay it out later. If we can do that, we can reduce the cooldown of the fire pillar to less than 0.5. So we don't actually need a total of 50% cooldown, just at least 40%. I think we can make it to less than 0.5, because that's the point. why we are trying to reach a good attack speed for the fire pillar to proc at least twice. So this means that in 1 second I can at least dish out 80,000. Approximately 80,000. Okay, we're not considering yet the damage of the basic attack because I'm critting sometimes. Okay, so that's my ideal build for the future because it's quite difficult to set up the skill cooldown compared to the attack speed. But my recommendation guys, unahin nyo yung attack speed muna kasi mas importante yun para sa farm. So, nakakatagal tayo. Tsaka mas mabilis din tayo pumatay. Okay. So, unahin nyo yung attack speed muna guys bago nyo buuin yung skill cooldown. Recommendation ko lang yun. Okay, now, ngayon last, mabilis lang ang skills kung gusto nyo makita. Ang hinuli ko talaga yung napalm beat. Okay. Diyan ko na binabato lahat ng makukuha ko pang skill points sa ngayon. So, syempre, fire pillar, mystic, storm, side blaster, magic coat, at fireball. Okay. That's it guys. Sana madami kayong natutunan. If you have questions, please comment below. We will try to answer them if we know the answer.